Okay, question number 3. The following information has been collected from Minlu Enterprises for the financial year ended the 30th of June 2016, and we're given a lot of information here: receipts from customers, loans from repayments. It all looks pretty okay, so it's just a table of information, but it asked me to prepare a fully classified cash flow statement as at the 30th of June 2016. Now, what's the first things that I need to look at the first thing that I need to do when I'm looking at preparing a cash flow statement? That's right, I need to classify. So the first thing I want to do is classify. And what do I classify into? I classify into, that's right, operating, financing, investing, and non-cash. That's right. So what's my operating activities? My operating activities will fall under income, expense, current assets, and current liabilities. My financing activities are going to be my increases or decreases in non-current liabilities and equity. And my investing activities will be my non-current assets. And obviously my non-cash activities get excluded. So let's go. How are we going to classify these? Receipts from customers, well, that's operating, yep. Repayments of loans, financing, correct. Receipts from the sale of motor vehicles. Now, my sale of motor vehicles is a non-current asset, so that's investing. Proceeds of share issue. Now, we're issuing shares, so the company's obviously issuing shares. That becomes a financing because that share issue will fall under equity. Dividends received. So we've got to receive dividends here. Yep, that's right. Operating, because that's income. Payments to my suppliers. My suppliers is an operating activity. Wages paid, another operating activity. Loss on the sale of motor vehicle. That's right. Loss indicates non-cash. That's terminology that we use, non-cash. Profit after tax for the period, well, profit is also a non-cash item. Interest paid, yep, operating. Taxes paid, yep, operating. We've got a cash balance, which is balance. Purchase of new machinery. New machinery is a non-current asset, so that's investing. Depreciation on machinery. That's right, it's a non-cash item. And dividends paid. Now, paid is a bit different to receive. Dividends paid is obviously a financing because that goes to my owners. So we now classified it. So we've done the hard section. This is now the easy bit. The easy bit is preparing it. So let's have a look here. So who's my business? Minlu Enterprises. For Minlu Enterprise, for year ended. '30th of the 6th, 2016. So we've got that first bit. So that's now actually, to believe it or not, that's worth a mark to you. So now I want to now do what's the first section I do? Operating. So operating activities. Now I'm going to do my operating activities. Let's do them in the order that I find them. So I got receipts from customers, 750,000. $750. Yep. What's my next operating activity? Dividend received. And my dividend received is 50,000. So that ticks off that one. What have I got here? Payments to my suppliers, 220. Did I say 220? So that's a cash outflow, so a payment will be a cash outflow. Wages, it's 280,000, and tick that one off. I've got non-cash item there and a non-cash item there. I can tick that off. Any other non-cash items? Yep, there's the 2,000 on depreciation. I've got interest paid, which is 8,000. Which is, what would I say it was? Interest paid is 8,000, yep. And paid indicates a bracketed figure. Any others that I need to look at? I've got taxes. There we go, taxes paid of 65,000. And that's a cash outflow as well. Now let's have a look here. Let's look at the calculations here. Okay, so I got 750 plus 50 minus 220 minus 280 minus 8,000 minus 65,000 equals 227. That's a positive number. So I've got $227,000 here. And that's my operating cash flow. What's the next section I need to look at? Next section would be financing activities or let's go investing activities. Because we like to have a look at our investing activities next. Now my first investing activity is the sale of motor vehicle. Receipts of motor vehicle sale. And how much do I receive? 20,000, so that's an inflow. Do I have any others? I've got purchase of new machinery down here of 80,000. So new machinery is 80,000, and obviously a new machine will be cash outflow. Now, I didn't see any others. I'll just have a quick check. Invoice. Yep. Okay, so that's there. So that makes a cash outflow here of 60,000. All right, 80 less 20, that's not a bad thing. We want to make sure the business is buying assets, so that's good. And the last section that I got is financing. Financing activities, which should be all the other ticks. So we've got a repayment of loans. Repayment of loans was 80,000. Proceeds of share issue, now repayment, sorry, I better make that correct, that's 80,000. Share issue, the company has issued shares to investors and they've received $160,000, which is that number there. Cash balance is fine, and we've got one more, which is dividends paid. So my dividend paid for the year, and that's is 5,000, and that's a cash outflow. So what have I got there? That's 80,000, 75,000, and it's a cash inflow. So let's have a look here. 227 and 15 is 242. So net cash is 247,000. So that's the amount of cash flow in. All right. Pardon me. Next, we want our opening cash. And we mark that down as a balance, and that was 100,000. Sorry, 242. I thought that looked a little bit weird. 242. Opening cash is 100,000. And that gives me closing at the 30th of the 6th of $342,000. Pardon me. So that then means that we've completed our cash flow statement. Now the last thing that we want to do is, using your expertise on cash flows, comment on the cash flow statement you have prepared. Indicate the general health or the warning signals of the business. Okay, so let's look at B. Now, if we're looking at warning signals, I know a warning signal, and these are in your textbook. Warning signal would be a cash outflow for your operating activities. But because we've got a cash inflow for operating activities, that's a generally good thing. So cash inflow for operating activities is positive. So that's a good thing. So let's put a tick next to that. So that's obviously good general health. So I've got a tick there next to general health. Now, I've got my cash receipts from customers is more than my cash payments to my suppliers and employees. So receipts from customers more to suppliers and employees. Oops, O-Y-E-E-S. So that's 1, 2. Now you only have to, it's only worth 3 marks, so you only have to give me 2. So it's any of these answers. So once again, that's a tick. So that's another good general health. We've got cash received. So my net cash flow, so my overall cash flow here. So my cash received, so let's just highlight that was a good thing. Cash received, net cash flow is a good thing. Net cash flow, net cash inflow, net cash flow, I should call it, not inflow, is positive. So that's that one there, which is another good health tick. What have we got now? Let's have a look at our investing activities. We're buying new machinery. So that's a good thing. We're selling some old stuff and we're buying some new stuff. We're using the loans, obviously, to buy new stuff. New machinery purchases. So this indicates to me that the business is obviously looking to make money by buying new machinery. So that's another good health sign. And the last one is repayment of borrowings. So I've got some repayments of borrowings here. So that's a good sign. If I'm repaying money, means obviously my cash flow is in good health. So the question asks, using your expertise in cash flows, comment on the cash flow statement you have prepared, indicate the general health or warning signals of the business. Now, what you'd need to do from the above is any 2 for a mark each. Okay, so that would take care of 2 of those marks. Now the third mark would be for the business. The cash flow statement indicates the business is in good health. So that'll give you another mark. Okay. Now, just so you know, each tick would get you half a mark. So you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, with including that one up there, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Okay. So that'll be your 7 marks there. So you'd still have to put in your totals and give me that, or else it'll be a minus a mark. Any 2 for a mark each there, so that'll be 1 mark and 1 mark, and that'd be the last bit down the bottom would be the final mark.